Okay, so what I'm going to do is make sure that I know what the root username and password is. I have MySQL, PHP, Apache installed on my Linux server, and that's where I'm currently logged into right now. I also have PHPMyAdmin installed, so I can manage my database from a web interface. Next, I'm going to take a look, because this web server is going to host two websites. So I want to make sure that my DNS server is able to resolve those two different host names. The two host names that I'm going to use here is host www.tech.ncstech.org. That resolves to the IP address of this computer, and host wiki.tech.ncstech.org. And that's an alias for the same IP address. The reason I'm doing this is because having multiple websites on a web server, you are going to need to use the hostname lookup feature. So the hostname of the web server that you type into the browser, like this, is sent in the request to the web server. Web server looks at the host that was typed in and realizes that you want to look at a specific website, which directs you to a folder for that website, as opposed to if I were to type in Wiki, it would take me to the Wiki folder on the web server and show me the Wiki website. So I have two separate web servers running, websites running, sorry, on this web server, and they're each in their own directory. So by default, taking a look at this, by default, I have the ls var .w is the default, or the HTML is the default folder for the main website. So this folder will store the www.tech.ncstech.org. So if I just open up another thing here, www.tech.ncstech.org. Okay, it doesn't show anything, but as you notice, there was an info.php file in there, and it should be displayed. Why is it not? Well, we'll fix that here shortly. Make sure that we have multiple sites available on this web server. So since this is a clean install of Apache, I'm going to edit the httpd config file on my Apache server. vi etc httpd conf, and through here I'm going to make a change. Scroll all the way down to server name. Probably could have just jumped right to it by searching. And I'm going to uncomment this and change it to so this is going to be the default server name. So this will show the default website. And let's scroll down to the virtual host naming. So by default, this is the folder that all of the web documents will be stored in. Directory index, these are the files that will be displayed when no request is made to a specific file. These are aliases. Nice long file. Towards the end, I will have the virtual host. There's a virtual host section. So the name virtual host is here, and they show me an example of a virtual host configuration. I'm going to change this virtual host example. Change this to my email. And change the document root. Var www/html is the default document location. The server name, this is the name of the server, so we're going to call this and then I need to add server alias. The error logs, I'm going to change the name of these so they match the name of the virtual website. So when I'm looking at these log files, I can tell where they're coming from. And I'm going to add another virtual host. Copy this and paste it in there. So I can just modify a few things. And this is going to be the same email, but the directory is going to be different. So this is going to be in the Wiki folder. And this is going to be, our server is going to be Wiki. Okay, hit escape, right, and quit. So now that I have the hosts created in there, I'm going to reload service HTTPD reload. So it reloaded the HTTP service, and hopefully this should work if everything works out right. There's my info.php, and then now when I change this to wiki, I have nothing there right now because I haven't created the folder, so it should error out. Nothing's there. So what I need to do is change directory to var www, make directory wiki, change directory wiki, and then let's just echo the word wiki into index.html. So now there's a file called index.html, so now if I refresh, I should see the word wiki show up. So now I'm looking at the wiki folder. Next thing I need to do is download the wiki, or the MediaWIKI file that I'm going to use. And I'm going to use the wget for that. So I'm in the wiki folder, present working directory. And I'm going to use the wget and paste, and this will download.